Welcome to 99th Monkey Liberty News for Tuesday, June 10th, 2014. Yesterday was rather a long video. Today is going to be much briefer. I actually only have two links. The first is Benjamin Fulford for the week, and this is really just packed. If you are a Fulford fan, if you believe what he says, this is a really interesting week for his blog. The caption is "Emergency meetings of Western elite fail to break financial deadlock. U.S. implosion now looms." And there's, all the links are interesting, and there's just some interesting ideas. He has referenced here William Van Dyne's speech that Fritz Springmeier put up on Pen Tracks. And I just want to say, kind of as an aside, I was, for a while, there's a blog that I have that's called Mercy Triumphs, and I was posting, with Fritz's permission, what he was blogging, what he was posting on Facebook as blog entries on Mercy Triumphs. And at first, when he got into the whole William Van Dyne thing, I'm open to the idea of those people repenting. But then it became really clear as the Bilderberg meeting approached, that at least became clear to me, that the Illuminati was trying to use alternative news channels and to further their agenda. And I'm not going to be a part of that. And you may notice some different blogs and websites have kind of changed their tone recently. It's some of the people that have been long trusted are bringing information that I personally no longer am very enthusiastic about. Even I've been talking to some people. I haven't noticed it myself that much. I did notice that Mike Adams wasn't appearing as a guest on InfoWars and hasn't for some time, and I didn't really know what was going on. And some people believe that there's been kind of a rift, kind of a split, that Mike Adams has made kind of a departure in some ways. I don't have a strong opinion about that right now. I haven't had a chance to really look into it. But I just bring it up because I don't know if people have been bought off. I don't know, exactly what's happening. But it does really appear that a lot of alternative news sources are following an agenda that is being fed them by the Illuminati. I'm certainly not saying that directly about Mike Adams. I think there are varying degrees of influence, but even a slight influence over time. If there's a divergence in the road, if there's a fork in the road, where the fork is, of course, everybody's in the same place. But as the road moves outward, when one person follows one road, another person follows another road, the positions of the two different people become quite different. And I think this is a time when there have been some forks in the road for alternative media, and I think it's a crucial time for us to be watching to see what direction everybody is going in, and whether we are still in agreement with them, whether we feel like they've sold out, whatever. I don't want to be reading false things myself, and I certainly don't want to be presenting things with 99th Monkey News that are false or misleading. So if you become aware of anything that anybody who's watching this video, if you become aware of anything that just doesn't seem quite kosher to you about a blogger or some alternative news source that you've trusted for some time, I'd appreciate hearing your opinion and leave a comment, give people a heads up. So what Fulford has referenced what Fritz wrote, particularly the speech that William Van Dyne gave at Bilderberg. And as Fulford stated here, now that they want to come out of the closet, so to speak, he didn't say that. Those are my words. They don't want to keep their secrets anymore. He said, you can't be openly murdering and lying and manipulating media and doing the kinds of things they do and expect people to accept it. He's basically, Fulford said, he thinks they're, inviting rebellion, and indeed that may be their intention. But whether or not we consent is, I think, crucial. And as this information comes out, as they present it, make it public, again, I've said this before, silence is taken as consent. So this is a time when we can't be silent, whether we leave comments, places, whatever channels we decide to use. This is the time that we need to speak out and say, this is not okay with us. And, the specifics of this Fulford here are interesting. The declaration of bankruptcy of the U.S. corporate government would also mark the end of a 2,000-year project by the Roman Empire to create a worldwide fascist dictatorship or New World Order. Multiple sources agree. So this has been a long-term plan. And this is the time for us to object. This is the time for us to withdraw consent and to make it known that we do not consent to this, because we still have that power at this time. And there's evidently a struggle, according to Fulford, between people who want to institute a new financial system through the IMF and the existing financial bodies, at least, and the BRICS nations who want something completely new and different. So these are certainly very, very interesting times. This is a season of the earth, I think, when it's just absolutely crucial for us to be hearing from God and getting direction that's objective, not the subjective information that we receive from the mainstream. And my other link today is the Founders' Foreign Policy and Introduction from the 10th Amendment Center. And this isn't really news. This isn't really it was an article, I guess, but it's not news. But it's just a reminder for us. I think at this time, in these times that are really formative pertaining to the future, looking to the past, the original intents of the Founding Fathers, the original really calling on America, and that plan by the Roman Empire, I don't know if they factored in the Americas or not. Many people believe that people were very aware at that time and had visited this continent. But what I want to say, whether they planned on America or not, America has been a shining beacon. And England has also been a shining beacon. After the Magna Carta and through much of English history, there was tremendous freedom in England, and just liberty and justice balanced very, very well. And that seed of freedom shifted to America. And we have been exceptional in the world, in the freedoms that we've enjoyed, and the prosperity and the advancements in technology and science and engineering. And they want to extinguish the light that is America, so that they can keep the world in darkness. I mean, there were people who were pleased with the Dark Ages and were doing fine at that time and didn't really want things to change. And there are pressures now on humankind trying to impose that kind of control and lack and ignorance on all of us. So, our struggle here in this country is to have our liberty restored. And the struggle is ours because we have government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So in order to govern well, since we are all responsible for governing this nation, it's helpful to understand foreign policy. And here is the Founders' Foreign Policy, an introduction. Thank you for tuning in for 99th Monkey Liberty News. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, govern well by enforcing the Bill of Rights.